This is Our View, the television voice of Washington's working families, brought to you by the members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. Hard to believe, but workers at Western State Hospital near Tacoma recently had to raise their voices against a management plan to lay off the very employees who helped the facility win approval from a national accreditation group. Hard to believe, but true.
Today's action is really about respect. The fact that we knew quite some time ago that the legislature was removing funding from several of our temporarily established wards. The wards were established for a period of time to be able to implement a new patient tracking system once they leave the hospital called the PACT system. We didn't have any heartburn with the fact that we knew these were coming. The problem that we have at this point is a total disregard of our requests, our oversight, our insistence upon receiving a true vacancy list to be able to verify that our most senior employees were given the opportunity to positions that they contractually have right to. We have yet, after 8 weeks of waiting, still have not received that list. We continue to be unable to verify anything that we're being told, and quite honestly, we are kind of suspect of the credibility of management of this hospital for various reasons.
I understand that this was a temporary issue, that it was going to only be open for a while, probably or mostly due to what happened here in Pierce County and taking up some slack for that. But there are 3 things that your union has an absolute right to do. You have the right to bargain for hours, wages, and working conditions. Last time I checked, seniority and positions is a condition and one of those 3 issues. So it is absolutely something that the administration here in DSHS has got to respect.
You have the right to expect to be treated with the respect that you're due. How many years have you been spit on and called names and worked hard, long hours, underpaid? How many years have you put into this place? How dare they not treat you with respect? How dare they? What do you want? Respect. When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Respect. When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Respect. When do you want it? Now. You're by God gonna get respect from this administration. You by God are.
State agencies are adjusting budgets as fuel prices are starting to impact state services. However, owner-operators of many logging trucks no longer have a budget to adjust. They recently raised their voices.
The people that are here today and are involved in this protest are doing so to draw the attention of the general public so that they can make a link between the rising cost of living, the rising cost of consumer goods, and the rising cost of fuel. This isn't a demonstration against our local distributors or dealers. They are hurting in this formula as much as anyone else is. This is to hopefully draw enough attention nationally. We're involved with several national groups, and maybe we can draw enough attention nationally that our Congress and the administration will do something to help us. People are making a choice right now of whether to buy food or whether to buy fuel. Families are suffering. The people that only want to work for a living and be good citizens are struggling. This is a crisis. We're putting more than 60% of our gross revenue back in the fuel tank. We're not doing it anymore. These people are going out of business daily. 5 years ago, there were roughly 2,500 trucks, log trucks, registered with the Department of Licensing in the state of Washington. A year ago, there was 938. In March, there was 785. And I'm guessing we've lost 100 trucks since then. These people are starving to death. And until Congress realizes how the end user is suffering, how these small families are going broke, losing their houses, losing everything they've worked for all their lives, I don't know. There isn't going to be a solution. I mean, there is no solution to this unless Congress steps up to the plate and does something on an emergency basis. We can't wait until there's more fuel economic trucks. We can't wait until alternative fuels come in. We have got to have something now, or our businesses won't exist. We're not asking for anything spectacular. We're asking to make a living and provide for ourselves and our communities and be good citizens. I hate to say it this way, but traditionally, this group of people hasn't been real politically aware. They're learning. They're learning fast. They're not happy with what's there, and they're ready to clean house. And whatever that means, whoever the best person is that steps up and is a true leader for our country, that's where the vote's going to go. And it isn't partisan. Doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, Independent. They want somebody that's got the backbone to do the right thing.
The practice of replacing skilled workers with lower-paid contract workers is not limited to the United States. Workers on Israel's railroad are faced with this, and they are not just taking it quietly.
The protest right now is against the redundancies. About 150 workers in the Israeli train until the end of the year, out of which 15 workers are supposed to be from the Dimona train station in the south. And right now there is a hearing in this building of the main leader of the struggle in the Dimona station. Also, it's part of a wider struggle of the train workers, which is calling to stop the privatization plans and to stop the redundancies plans of the management, which are supposed actually to kick out the better paid job and to put in contract companies workers and manpower workers instead.
לעובדים בישראל יש לא מעט לב ואמונה, והם מוכיחים את זה פעם אחרי פעם במאבקים שהם מביאים עליהם. הבעיה היא שבשביל לנצח צריך כלים. הכלים של עובדים בשביל לנצח זה איגודים מקצועיים, זה ועדי עובדים חזקים, לא מושחתים, דמוקרטיים, ומפלגת עובדים שנאמנה לאינטרסים שלהם. מכיוון שבישראל חסרים לנו עדיין הכלים האלה, אז לעובדים יש פחות אמונה שהם יכולים לנצח, כי הם רגילים לזה שהמנהיגים שלהם מכריעים אותם.
This struggle is also against corrupt workers' representatives, against corrupt shop stewards, because the national shop steward committees, a committee of the train workers, actually went hand in hand with the management and the government in the redundancies plans. You could see what happened with the privatization of the train in Brittany, in the United Kingdom, and how disastrous it was both for the workers and for the passengers, with actually high increase in the amount of train accidents because the privatized corporations were not willing to put too much money on the safety of the passengers.
look at our union history. Here's Ross Rieder.
Professional Air Traffic Controllers Organization, or PATCO, was a labor union that represented air traffic controllers in the United States in matters relating to wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of employment. Founded in 1968 and recognized as collective bargaining agent in 1969 after a brief labor stoppage referred to as the sick-out, the government was forced to the bargaining table. The controllers won substantial pay raises, about triple the previous pay. In the 1980 presidential election, PATCO and several other AFL-CIO unions departed from their usual practice of backing Democrats by endorsing Ronald Reagan. On August 3, 1981, the union declared a strike, seeking better working conditions, better pay, and a 32-hour work week. In doing so, the union violated a 1955 law that banned strikes by government unions. However, several government unions, including the American Postal Workers Union, had declared strikes in the intervening period without penalties. Ronald Reagan, however, declared the PATCO strike a peril to national safety. He ordered them back to work under the terms of the Taft-Hartley Act of 1947. About 1,200 of the 11,000 controllers returned to work. PATCO hoped to shut down the national air system, causing upwards of $150 million a day damages. Had the machinists and pilots honored solidarity, they would have. Reagan gave them 48 hours to return, knowing that Transportation Secretary Drew Lewis had secretly trained replacements and the airplanes kept flying at 80% of normal. On August 5th, following their refusal, Reagan fired the 11,359 air traffic controllers who ignored the order. He banned them from future federal service. They were replaced by PATCO scabs, supervisors, staff personnel, some non-rated personnel, controllers transferred temporarily from other facilities, and some military controllers. It was the most stunning defeat for unions in 60 years and set the tone for the last 2 decades of the last century. PATCO is back as the Professional Air Traffic Controllers Organization Incorporated. According to its website, it's an unaffiliated, independent union. Another union, certified in 1987, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, is one of the strongest and most influential unions in the federal sector and is an affiliate of the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations. NATCA, over 20,000 members, represents not only controllers, but other safety-related professionals, including engineers, traffic management coordinators, and staff specialists.
This has been Our View, brought to you by the proud members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. We remind you, when you accept a paycheck for your hard work, don't give up your rights. Thank you for watching.